Look, I know it's just a game, but it's a tough pill to swallow. And plus, my team has been off to a rough start for the third year in a row now. Okay, I'll take your advice and use meditation. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Oh shoot, is this thing on? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Anyways, it's Week 5 recap time. Let's go! To start off, we have the Falcons beating the Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football 36-30 in overtime. Wow, this game was crazy. It was back and forth the entire game, and it resulted into overtime, where the Falcons won on a Hogue game-winning touchdown to win the game for Atlanta. Honestly, Falcons, good game. You guys did absolutely well, and I respect that. So both Atlanta and Tampa Bay both controlled the NFC South, and yeah, that's all I can say. So great job, Atlanta. Next up, we have the Vikings beating the Jets in London 23-17. I'm going to say this now, the Vikings are legit. They are 5-0 to start the year. They're really good. Their offense is good, Sam Darnold is surprisingly good, and the defense is terrifying. And you won't believe this, but Sam Darnold didn't even throw a single touchdown pass and still won the game. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers, he had 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Yikes. And he had a 29 for 54 completion. That is tough. And as of this video recording, Robert Saleh got fired. So now their new head coach is their defensive coordinator. So, yeah. So congratulations, Minnesota, and New York is probably screwed. Next up, we have the Bears crushing the Panthers 36-10. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't watch a single moment of this game. I mean, the Bears were expected to beat the terrible Carolina Panthers squad, and Caleb Williams did surprisingly well. 20 for 29, 304 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that is really good numbers right there. And rushing was led by DeAndre Swift with 21 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. And DJ Moore was the biggest star for the Bears side with 5 receptions for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Amazing. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, their only touchdown was by Chuba Hubbard, who had 13 carries for 97 yards and 1 touchdown. And yeah, congrats, Bears. Next up, we have the Commanders destroying the Cleveland Browns 34-13. Cleveland. You guys should have moved on from Deshaun Watson. He is garbage. You guys keep giving him too many chances, but you guys can't accept that you guys made a horrible mistake by signing him to a big contract and gave him a fully guaranteed contract as well, even though he should have been in jail. But anyways, Washington surprisingly did well, and honestly, Washington is good for the first time since, well, RG3, I believe. And Cleveland, well, you guys should honestly just try to go for a quarterback in the draft, or at least go for any of the backups. Like, do something. Like, stop putting Deshaun Watson out there, please. Like, not even your own fans want him under center. He's garbage. Next up, we have the Dolphins winning against the Patriots 15-10. Oh boy, a Tyler Huntley versus Jacoby Brissett game. Wow, this looks exciting. Yeah, no, this game was absolutely boring as hell. There were only 2 touchdowns scored, and both quarterbacks didn't even throw a single touchdown pass, even though they had over 150 yards. But the only touchdowns were scored in this game was a Ramondre Stevenson 33-yard run, which is arguably the biggest play of the game. And in the fourth quarter, someone named Alec Ingold had a 3-yard run where the 2-point conversion was no good, resulting in the end of the game. So, great job, Miami, I guess. Next up, we have the Jaguars winning against the Colts 37-34. Jacksonville finally got a win. Hallelujah. Both teams did really well in this game, and the game ended where the Jacksonville kicker nailed the game-winning field goal in the last minute of the game. And yeah, that's all I could say about this game. So, congrats, Jacksonville, for getting your first win of the season. Next up, we have the Texans winning against the Bills 23-20. Wow, this game was really intense as I thought it would be. I honestly thought there was going to be more scoring, but who cares? It was a great game anyway. And as you can clearly tell, Houston was in control for the first 2 quarters when they had a 20-3 lead, and then James Cook had a 5-yard run to make it 20-10, and Keon Coleman had a 49-yard pass from Josh Allen to make it 20-17, and Tyler Bass tied the game at 20 in the fourth quarter, and Fairburn nailed the 59-yard field goal as time expires to win the game. Houston, you almost led a Buffalo comeback, honestly. But you guys got the job done, so good job. And Stephon Diggs won his revenge game, so that's good, I guess. Next up, we have the Ravens beating the Bengals 41-38 in overtime. Man, we really should have won this game, honestly. We had Baltimore right where we wanted them, but we let them off the hook. But as for the game itself, it was absolutely amazing. For Baltimore, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry did really well. And meanwhile, for the Bengals, Joe Burrow had amazing stats. 30 for 39, 392 yards, 5 touchdowns, and only 1 pick. Chase Brown did really well. And receiving for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins both played really well. Hold on, if I can just pull it up real quick. Jamar Chase had 10 receptions for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of his 2 touchdowns was a 70-yard bomb. And T. Higgins had 9 receptions for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. And yeah, in overtime, we won the coin. In overtime, sorry, I misspoke, but in overtime, Baltimore won the coin toss and Lamar fumbled the ball, giving it to Cincinnati. We were running the ball nonstop, and the kick holder misplaced the ball, which caused Evan McPherson to kick the ball far left, which resulted Baltimore to have Derrick Henry run into field goal range and Justin Tucker nailing the game-winning field goal. Man, it's still tough that we lost this game. Baltimore, honestly, no animosity against you guys, because you guys won fair and square, honestly. You guys did really well. I'm honestly impressed. But But man, it was just a sour way for us to lose like that. We had Baltimore where we wanted them, but we couldn't get the job done. I swear, if we lose to the Giants next week, I'm gonna go insane. And I'm not joking. But still, congrats, Ravens, on getting your third win of the season. Next up, we have the Broncos winning against the Raiders 34-18. Yeah, I chose Denver to win this game, and honestly, I'm not surprised that they won. I don't think I can explain what happened because I didn't watch a single moment from this game. But yeah, Denver won, and honestly, I saw it coming. And meanwhile, Bo Nix, he did really well. 19 for 27, 206 yards, and 2 TDs. Pretty good numbers. And meanwhile, Patrick Surtain, he had a monster play where he had an interception from the end zone when Las Vegas was trying to score and was returned for a 100-yard pick six. Honestly, yeah, Pat Surtain might be the best corner in the game, honestly. If not the best in the league. Because I actually saw that play, honestly. And it was just wild, honestly. So, congrats, Pat Surtain II, for getting that monster play and showing everybody that you're one of the best cornerbacks in the league. So, yeah, good job, Denver, for winning against the Raiders. Next up, we have the Cardinals upsetting the 49ers 24-23. San Francisco, what the hell happened? You guys had Arizona right where you wanted them. You guys had a 23-10 lead in the first half, and then you didn't even score at all in the second half. You gave up a 42-yard field goal. You let Elijah Higgins have a 2-yard pass for a TD. And James Conner having a 2-point conversion. And Chad Ryland nailing a 35-yard field goal with 1:37 left, and you guys could not capitalize on it. I mean, good for Arizona for having a comeback win, but San Francisco, I was rooting for you. I had my picks on you, and I'm disappointed. Next up, we have the Giants upsetting the Seattle Seahawks 29-20. Wow, this game was crazy. Like, really crazy. I watched a few moments in this game, and they were the craziest plays, honestly. We started off the day by having Rashad Jenkins having a fumble return for 102 yards for a TD. And I saw that play live. Wow. I'm honestly impressed. Good job to Jenkins for pulling that one off. And meanwhile, it was kind of back and forth, honestly. New York was putting up a good fight. And meanwhile, Seattle was trying to score a field goal to take the lead, or actually tie the game. But the kick was blocked, and Bryce Ford Witten returned it 60 yards for a touchdown, and which pretty much ended the game, honestly. And easily gave New York the win. So, congratulations, Giants, for surprising everybody, honestly. And Seattle, you guys did really well, but it's still surprising that you guys lost to the Giants. Next up, we have the Packers winning against the Rams 24-19. I didn't watch a whole lot of this game. All I saw was Jordan Love's pick six that he threw on a desperation throw while avoiding a sack. But yeah, this game was interesting. And shout out to Tucker Kraft for having a monster third quarter by scoring a 66-yard bomb for a touchdown. And he also had a 7-yard pass from Jordan Love, which pretty much gave Green Bay the win, honestly. So shout out to Tucker Kraft for having an awesome third quarter and was a key factor for Green Bay winning this game. And as for the Rams, they desperately need Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back, because without them, Matt Stafford is just throwing to absolutely nobody. Next up, we have Dallas squeaking a win against Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football. And this game was apparently delayed due to lightning, I believe. So the game had to start at midnight instead. And the game was back and forth, where on the fourth quarter, Dak Prescott led a game-winning drive, which gave Dallas the win. And the biggest takeaway after the game was George Pickens grabbing a Cowboys defender's face mask, which could result in him getting suspended for a couple of games, or maybe a fine. But still, this game was absolute wild. And good job for Dallas barely beating Pittsburgh. And finally, we have the Chiefs winning against the Saints on Monday Night Football 26-13. Wow. This game was honestly no surprise, honestly. I knew KC was going to win, but not in the way I hoped. Because you aren't going to believe this, but Mahomes didn't even throw a single touchdown pass and still won the game. He was 28 for 39, 331 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. And one of those interceptions was from a defensive tackle. Even though the interception wasn't really Mahomes' fault, but guess what? I don't care. Mahomes literally got intercepted by this dude, Kellen Saunders. Well, although, to be fair, Juju Smith-Schuster kind of bobbled the pass, which fell into his hands, but still. And the biggest takeaway of this game is Derek Carr is put on IR, so they're probably going to start Spencer Rattler next week against Tampa Bay. And yeah, Kansas City's now 5-0, despite not playing as good. And their next game is in Week 7 against the 49ers in the Super Bowl rematch. So we'll see how that game goes. And yeah, that's that.